All right, Monte, welcome, my friend. Let me
Good
turn
to
our
see you, Frank.
recording on. So I have a recording here. It's been a long time. I met with you every week for an hour in a small group last year. This was right before COVID hit, and you are just kind of hanging out at about 30 or 40 agents. And you're like, we got to grow this thing at Realty One because you bought the franchise, right?
I did. I just bought a second one after working with you for 6 months.
Yep. So you're in Nashville, competitive market. A lot of people moving there now. So you probably had a pretty good year.
Super competitive, super
Yep.
competitive.
Super competitive market.
There's 1,000 offices here locally.
And were there any other Realty One offices there at the time?
No.
So you have a brand new brand name in not Austin, Nashville, close, kind of same, in Nashville.
And that's one of the biggest. That was one of the biggest challenges. A brand that nobody had ever heard of here in Tennessee.
Yeah. So you had to go out and do this. I mean, I just have to ask you, man, what motivated you to go sign a brokerage contract of one that didn't even exist in town and say, I'm going to do this? I want to hear that.
Kind of a long story. I was with the company of the balloon for about 27 years, and when they became publicly owned, I just didn't care for the culture that much anymore, and I went out and bought another 80s brand, and that didn't work, and lost a lot of money on that one. And so I'm 68 years old. Something magic happens, Frank. You being so young, you wouldn't understand this yet, but something magic happens when you get in the second half of life and you get a little greater urgency. Okay, I'm only 2 years from 70 years old, so I don't. I mean, I could do do-overs probably, but I don't want to do any more do-overs. I got to get it right. And so I'm looking at the future of real estate, and I'm seeing a downward pressure of the real estate commission. I'm seeing a lot of changes happening out there after being in it for 37 years. And I feel like this is one of the companies that's going to be around long term because it's all about the agent. It's all about empowering the agent. Okay. That's what I did. That's why I did what I did. The challenge with that, of course, is that it's hard on the broker, especially when you don't have deep pockets, because we do give a lot to our agents. So that's why I did what I did. But that's also why I recognize that I need help, because all my career, most of my 30, at least 30, let's say 34 years of my 37 years in the business, I was a producer. Okay. I've sold over 3,000 homes personally, over $1 billion worth of real estate. And I didn't want to be a broker. I've had some teams before, of 6 to 10 agents, but I didn't want to be a broker and have to, chase or herd cats, or all the terminology there. But I made some mistakes and I lost a lot of money during the Great Depression, so I had to do something. This is kind of a Hail Mary, maybe, but
Recession. You're not that old.
Pardon me?
Recession. You're not that old, Monte.
Yeah.
Not the Depression.
Yeah, right. Recession. Anyway, I recognized I'd been following you for a while, Frank, and I love the fact that you make your information available. You practice what you preach. You become the authority in your arena, whether it be marketing for the agents, helping the agents market their circle of influence, or helping the broker become the authority in the local market. Either way, you're helping people become the top of mind and the authority. I know that. And I didn't, $1,000 a month or whatever it was we paid for that class. It seemed like a lot, but when I got into it, and you really broke it down, man, you really broke it down. I'm not a real technical person, but you broke it down where I could even understand it. And that meant a lot to me. And so I started practicing what I was, that $1,000 a month, or again, whatever it was at the time. I wanted to step up and own that, because my wife didn't want me spending the money, and it started making so much sense, because I'd been chasing agents. Okay. I've been doing the cold calls. I hired an ISA. I even reached out to another company that got an offshore ISA and making 100 calls a day and all that, but I wasn't attracting the people I wanted to attract. I mean, to me, that's the bigger part of it, is getting the right people. And I think the right people are drawn to the right leadership. And so I wanted, my goal is to become a $1 billion company. And to become a $1 billion company, I've got to become a $1 billion leader. And that's a huge undertaking, in which I'm a long ways from, but even in a 2-year-old company now, we're producing between 400 and 450 million now, and over the last 12 months in productivity. So I'm halfway there almost, is how I look at it.
Congratulations. That's insightful. You got to be a $1 billion leader.
Well, you've got to become the leader before you see the results of that, leadership. There's no point in becoming a $1 billion company if you're not the leadership to take care of that.
So let's take
So
this back.
I'm working on myself all the time, to become that, because I know where I'm heading. Again, there's a little more urgency, I think, when you hit over 50. You recognize I'm in the second half of life, is how I look at it. I'll make it to 120 probably, but I don't want to. I don't want to be schlepping buyers around all that time, and I feel like I have a lot of information. So that's part of what my passion is being able to develop an organization and a culture where I can help these agents not have to wait, or not have to be in the business as long as I have, to be as accomplished maybe as I have been. So I really love that part of it now.
You heard about the course. You just recently bought the franchise. You successfully recruited some initial people, but a lot of emotional scars of how it's been done before. And you saw the concept. You got the concept. You're going to make videos. You're going to do online advertising. You're going to start teaching. You're going to start, putting out helpful educational material, not just how great you are, and come join Realty One.
Right.
And get it out to agents and maybe even people that aren't licensed yet, and train them up if you want to go down that path.
I didn't want to go down that path.
You didn't have to. It was there though. But
I know
the point
it,
is,
but now I'm down that path because there's gold in there, brother.
So you are taking him unlicensed and training him up.
You shared that idea, but
The
I said
apprenticeship model.
I don't want to deal with that. But we have some of my top agents have been licensed less than a year.
Say that again.
Some of my top agents have been licensed less than a year.
And what were they doing before that?
Some were in sales, some just, had a good circle of influence. Some just came to town because this isn't their country of origin, and they came with a work ethic,
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, sometimes now when we do the onboarding, I'll take some time to show folks in our portal, look, this agent's only been licensed for 8 months and has closed 26 transactions. This one's only been licensed 2 years and just completed 42 transactions this year. I mean, it's amazing what some of these newer folks can do. So when I had a team at Remax, I intentionally only recruited brand new people because I didn't want to have to untrain people. But when I got into this situation, I knew I needed a lot more than 6 agents, 6 team members. I didn't see any way that we had the bandwidth for newer agents. But then we kept attracting. See, over half of our agents come from within. Over half of our agents have come from within the organization of referrals. The tendency sometimes when whether it be network marketing or whatever you're doing that causes people to reach out and share, sometimes they tend to go down as far as experience or as far as socioeconomic level. Okay, it's just the human nature. And so we ended up, our agents have continually gotten newer and newer and newer, it seemed like. So I finally decided to embrace it, but I don't want to be that company that's churning through people and contributing to that 87% fallout every 2 years. Okay. So, we have a real strong foundational series. My broker of my Franklin office, Jason Hoover, he was a productivity coach with another company. So he came with a lot of great ideas, but he's our mentor's mentor. We have a mentorship program where we don't let our mentors take on more than 4 agents. And we require these mentors to be mentored by Jason. And so they have an accountability call on a weekly basis. They have a protocol which they've been empowered by. And we want agents that are actually out selling, not somebody who's used to sell. We want people to feel the pain. Just like I'm still selling. I'm not a competitive broker, but I'm still an active broker because I know the pain of Redfins and the Open Doors and the, the Zillows and so forth. I know what that feels like to be competing with those companies. I'm still the top producer actually of the 170 agents, and I don't want to be there. I'm trying to get out of that role, but in the meantime, I've been paying the bills. We did this on cash flow. I didn't have, deep pockets or anything to start off here, but so anyhow, we have this mentorship program now, and we have, for the first 6 transactions, the agents leave a higher split on the table, and that is shared between the mentor and the mentor's mentor and the office. Okay, the office gets a small portion of it, which I'm fine with because that's on autopilot. I don't have to be involved in that, and there's that built-in accountability. And last Monday we had a get together here in the office, a happy hour where we celebrated those mentees graduating from the mentorship program. Got them a T-shirt and got them up on stage. Our new office, we have because we're here in Music City, we have a small stage at the end of our kind of play area that we have. We have a pool table and shuffleboard. It's a really unique office, 5,400 square feet. But so we celebrated them graduating from the mentorship program, made a big deal out of it. We had about a dozen people that had graduated over the last month or two.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you went from 30 to 170 agents in a year. Mm-hmm. While you're in production of doing about 4 deals a month.
In 2 years altogether. Okay.
In 2 years. Okay. So 3 to 170 in 2 years while you're in production.
Right.
And apparently they all meet with you.
Yes. I'm the recruiter.
You're the recruiter.
I'm the gatekeeper. Okay.
Yeah. So they all have gone through you, and you had to figure out a way to get the name out of your brokerage. And I just want to kind of go back to the recruiting course because people watching this are kind of interested. I'm kind of selling the next January event, but or January semester. But let me just ask you this, man. Why did you enroll? Why did you drop the $6,000 to do that? I
saw the need. I have an urgency that, look, I need some help because I'm not that broker who has been a broker for years as far as the broker part of it. I've been a broker for years, but only in status, not in experience as far as recruiting agents. And I knew right off the bat, man, I'm going to have some help here. And that's why I tried these other things. And it didn't take long where I realized I don't like chasing agents. I don't like that. That's not a great posture any more than, I agree with Gary Keller where, you need a marketing and a prospecting combination. Vyral is not the only effort that I work, but it's one of the only ones that I've hung on to this full 2 year, or this, last 18 months. Because you've helped me build a website that's got value to it. I'm proud to direct people there because it's got value.
What's the URL again, Monte?
The URL is NashvilleRealEstateMastermind.com. NashvilleRealEstateMastermind.com.
Good. Let me show the audience. Let me clean up the 5,000 tabs in my browser. Oh yeah, nice job, dude. There's a picture of you teaching. I love it. Here's your videos. Join our team. Get our newsletter for your strategy call. And people go here and they can get to know you real well, huh? Watch your training videos.
Yeah.
How has this helped you?
Well, again, it's becoming the authority, in your market. That's what this has helped me become. Middle Tennessee is a big area, and it's really hard to create any sort of traction here, and it's an individual or anybody who really. But what you instructed us to do is reach out to something like a Broker Metrics, define your market share. We looked at and we recognized that agents sometimes are geographically bound sometimes, and so we selected those agents that were within a certain distance from our company. And then we isolated those who had done, say, 4 transactions to 20 transactions, something like that over the last 12 months. And then we started working with those, and we ended up with a little over 2,000 agents here in Middle Tennessee to pursue. And again, these, just to be totally transparent, Frank, when we went through the 6 months, I felt equipped, but again, money's an issue always, for all of us. And to continue on paying a portion of what we were paying for the ongoing benefit, I thought, I'm probably not going to do that. I had promised my wife this is only 6 months, blah, 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 that we all go through. Or at
Oh,
least
because it's an extra $550 or $275 for a second blog after the 6 months.
Right. It was extra $500 that we paid. And my wife is our operations manager. That's why I keep mentioning her. Okay. So we're kind of a tag team here.
Yeah.
I want to respect that. But, I had enough conviction, I think, after sitting with you that many times and hearing your expertise and the other nuggets, because there's always other nuggets that are shared, just general nuggets when it comes to, staying on top of the new ways of looking at things. You introduced me to big data. I didn't know you could isolate big data like that. Anyway, and you helped me find the one location where I can get agents' addresses, and you don't get all of them, but you get probably 50% of them, which is better than anything else I've seen, because Broker Metrics in my market does not include the agent's home address. But anyway, so I went ahead and stayed. John helped me, convince me to stay in the program. He does a great job for you.
I've known him since first grade.
I know, that's awesome. And so I started doing these videos, these 2-minute authority videos, and it was incredible to me that people were actually watching them. I guess I didn't believe that people had actually watched them. And so it's not uncommon. It's more common than not uncommon, is that when I do meet with somebody from this group of database, they have seen the videos. They like the videos. It reminds them of things maybe they knew before, maybe they didn't know before, but it's a perspective. It's a different perspective, and they know they're short and to the point, and they know that they're a worthy watch, because I'm coming from a place of contribution, not of survival. I'm trying to, give pointers, whether they're part of this organization or not. And so it's really been empowering, absolutely empowering.
That's great.
But my point is, I wasn't planning on continuing on here, and here we are now. It's been almost a year since I graduated from your course, and I have no intention of hanging up from the system, because it's empowering.
Well, let's go through the system, and why don't you tell me, for the people listening, tell me some of the ones that really were the game changer for you. And when I go through the course, I'm like, look, you don't have to do the entire thing here. Some of this depends upon your business model, whether it's a tight team, large brokerage, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we started off by writing down why in the world anyone would want to work for you, your sales letter.
Right.
And then I said, email it out to everyone you know, licensed, unlicensed, your whole list.
Right.
Then I said, let's get that up on all the job boards. And believe it or not, you might pick off people off job boards like Craigslist, like actually get people off Craigslist and Indeed and whatnot, even the local colleges.
Yeah.
Then I said,
all that started working quicker than I thought it was. And I wasn't ready for it to work. Okay. And the responses off of Indeed, is it Indeed?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. Indeed.
Yeah.
Local college job boards, Craigslist, just wherever someone's going looking for work. Right. You put that same letter there, which is a sales letter, which I teach you how to write them, is very different, like your typical job ad post. Right.
No, all that was really empowering.
Yeah. Then I was like, okay, let's go to your database. Let's go to the job boards, but then let's get a list of all the agents from Broker Metrics, or Showing Time has a service now that will get you a list of all the agents. And let's start doing some outbound email with something helpful. Mm-hmm. We started doing that. Then like, okay, that kind of got the first response. Then we started getting into, let's offer free strategy calls with you, like a coach, where people can opt in on your website. And then we moved into like business planning clinics, where you kind of teach people how to write a business plan. And then publishing little tips and tricks on social media so people see when it all comes funneling in. Like, what would you say were some of all the lessons in the material, which are the ones that really spoke to you and helped you get to where you are today?
Well, again, I think it's, being, you taught us to be systematic in our approach and look at the bigger picture, and the things that you all mentioned there. It was kind of a chipping away, again, having done this or been in the business as long as I have, it took some convincing for me. I have respect for you is why I listened. I believe that that before the message ever matters, people have to believe the messenger. And
Thank you.
you had communicated to me, you had brought value to me. And so I was hanging in there, even though I took a little while to connect, because I was still, it's a new animal for me to be in the recruiting mode. And but you kept on building on just building a case, building a base, and then and then I would reach out and do one of these things you'd recommend. It's like, hell, that I got some response from that. I can't even believe it. People are listening to that, and then started getting new people to the trainings, that we were having. And there's no doubt that when they have been listening to you and then they come to a workshop or a training, when you do, follow up, then after that, it's almost a shoe in, if they're willing to meet with you after that, it's, if you want them, you probably can get them, at that point.
Yeah. I said in the course, the number one metric um, from a lead generation conversion, getting the appointment with a willing and ready agent that wants to come move to you or whatever, is the amount of time they spend with you.
Right.
Do they watch a lot of your videos? Do they come to your workshop? Do you see that? Like your best prospects have spent a lot of time with you online.
Yeah. One of them quoted me the other day when I met with him last week. And I thought, what, that's Frank. That's, Frank's, teaching is coming through there. Because I said something, he goes, yeah, I heard that in one of your videos, It's like, that's so cool.
That's great,
That's
man.
so cool. Yeah.
Good for you. So, from when you started the course to when you fully started implementing it, how have you changed as a person to kind of, this is an interesting question. I'm asking you, like, success is something you attract by the person you become. It's a Jim Rohn quote.
Right.
When we
Totally
started the
believe that
course,
too.
yeah. So we started the course. I was like, look, a lot of you for the first time, you're really stepping up to do recruiting legitimately in a real way.
Mhm.
This is a personal development course in disguise. I'm going to do a bunch of marketing for you,
Mhm.
but let's look at what I'm asking you to do here. I'm asking you to step up in your MLS and deem yourself as the preeminent trainer, by the authority vested in yourself,
Mhm.
and start emailing all your peers, start, putting videos out there and having everyone come to you, and then start really transitioning into this leader of others than somebody who goes on appointments and sell houses. Can you maybe share how you've grown through this process?
Well, I think, I said something earlier that I do believe that it took place about a month or two in with you, because you had us, do that soul searching as far as and we all know the power of why is important, but that reality of attracting, but you have to become before you can attract, because you're going to attract who you are. And so again, when I started setting back and looking at the big picture, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling more empowered here with this course. Could I really become $1 billion company? Could I really have $1 billion company? Is that really possible? And then realizing, okay, I mean, it was then when I realized, okay, well, to have $1 billion company, I've got to become $1 billion leader. So I did a lot of, self perspective there, and realizing that I'm going to only attract as high as I'm willing to go myself. And so that, I guess in this last year, I've really thrown myself into this. I mean, to a higher level. I read a book about that same time called Miracle Morning for Realtors. I'm sure you read it, or have you?
I read the book.
Yeah, yeah. So I get up at 4. I'm kind of a compulsive person, I guess, when I get into something, but I get up now at 4:15 in the morning, because it assures me that I'm building the foundation that I have to build for me personally, to make sure I have all the savers in the silence, the affirmations, the visualization, the exercise, the reading, and the scribing, that I'm actually practicing that, and so anyhow, it was during that course where I really got an epiphany as far as, the becoming who I want to attract, and so now I'm just so blessed, in so many ways, when I look at the people that we are attracting now. It's just amazing. So that was probably one of the biggest deals, is understanding I can only attract who I become. And so if I'm going to attract some of the best, I've got to become as good as I possibly can. And what is that bandwidth? How far can I push that? Okay, if I get a couple of extra hours a day by getting up at I mean, I was getting up at 7:30, 7:30 before I read that book. And so there's been a combination. It hasn't all, I just want to make anybody feel like it's, or sound like it's just all you, Frank. It's not all you, brother. I'm just kidding. I'm just
No,
kidding.
I'm not looking for, I just want to
No,
share,
no,
like,
no, no, no. I know that. I know that. I know that. But
I'm
I
asking,
was kidding. I was just kidding.
yeah, you're looking to lead. You're going from, let me send out this little tip about buying or selling real estate. And now you're getting into, I'm going to start teaching and training other people how to grow their careers. And, you know, I go back into the videos. I talk about this in the course. It's not even so much about like this amazing content you share. It's like the confidence you come across and you communicate on the videos, which leads to the congruency of your workshops. Which leads to the congruency when they meet with you one-on-one, and then it's congruent with you when they join your brokerage. And it's all just there. And you have done a wonderful job at that, man. I mean,
But it's also staying congruent with what people know they should be doing. And that is, everybody knows they should be doing videos. I knew I should be doing videos, but it was only by me continually, paying for this course that caused me to get out of my comfort zone. And of course, Chrissy, my right arm, she kept saying, you got to do these videos. I said, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to look corny and all this kind of stuff. But finally, when I did them, I'm doing what we all know we should be doing anyhow by doing those little quick videos. And I just happen to have a lot of storage of experience that I can come from.
You do have a lot of experience. Congratulations on your growth, and good job doing this, man.
What's amazing, when you get over 100, it does change things as far as retention as well. And so I try to dedicate a lot of my time to what I have to, I'll spend a day sometimes, just reach out to the agents and put my headset on and just call each one of them and just say, I'm here for you. What can I do for you? Just to make sure they know they're not lost in the shuffle. I think recruiting is one thing. I think retention is it's a whole nother.
Yeah. That's where you start getting it. You're shifting to, like, now retention's your best recruiting.
Yes.
When you have 100 agents.
And that's when, like I said, 50% of our company is grown from within. So it's almost like referral only. I'm thinking about eventually, changing it to referral only once I hit 200.
It'd be easy.
What do you think about that?
Not entirely, but it would be the majority of it.
No.
I mean, when you have a huge customer list, and a brand name, there's agents out there that don't have to do any of this stuff because they just have their phone just rings of like, I give up. I'm going to come to work for you. I have to for my livelihood. Right. And once you kind of establish that brand in the market, you get there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the beginning, you need to spend the time and resources to establish a name, but eventually you establish enough of a brand name, we don't have to do much of this at all.
Well, I look at it like kind of like my real estate business. I'm not a competing broker. But I'll still sell 3 or 4 homes a month, but it's all based on my past clients. It's just by referral only is all I deal with.
Let me ask you this. When you first started off going from 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and you're doing the class, where did most of your leads or agent leads come from? Like, how did you get just tell me where your business came from an agent standpoint?
As far as the recruiting part?
Yeah, recruiting part.
Yeah, I had multiple things and multiple lines in the water. Okay. Before I had found your information, I had tried this one gentleman's material that believes in a reciprocity, which I believe in as well. And we send out and we're implementing that now to a lesser degree. We send out 10 business plans. I finally, about in the last month, I hired kind of a right arm guy who can take care of the buyers for me and some of the things that I've been really bogged down with. Okay. So I can focus on recruiting, because this is my lifeline. This is what all I want to do is recruit now and retain. And so anyhow, the idea is to send out a business plan, an interactive business plan that they fill out, that we fill out actually with a given, basic average commission rate, average price, what do they want to make, 150,000 a year, whatever. And it shoots them out a 21-page business plan. Then we follow that up the next day. So I've gotten some business out of that. I've got, let's see, I read the book with, I can't think of his name now, Donald, moving from the, I know you read the book too, can't think of his name, Donald Miller.
Right, Brand?
Yeah, story brand. Okay, so that was really relevant to me because I was the hero. Okay, by being the top producer, I had to get the mindset of removing myself from the top producer or the hero and helping elevate my agents as the hero. And I'm just the Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm just the guide to help them elevate themselves. So that was really a great insight as well. So anyhow, I had a combination of things going on, and now it's really down to your effort. I mean, what you're doing for us. We have contests now on occasion where we will give somebody an office bill for life by encouraging them to recruit for us, and that's worth some money to them. I mean, we don't have a big office bill, but it's still worth $1,800 a year. So it's a combination of that thing. I've got several fishing lines in the water. I really wanted to hire a recruiter, but I just don't want to give up that part, I guess, as part of it, because I really want the spirit of the company has got to be a reflection of the leadership, and I don't want that to change, because we've got I try to run this more like a team than a bunch of individuals. I encourage our agents, look, you want to be an individual, that's cool, but collectively we're a lot stronger than we are individually. And so we have things like a Monday morning huddle call where we invite everybody in for 30 minutes on a call to kind of go over the week. And then at the end of it, we try to, I always have some inspiration. I might read something out of Think and Grow Rich, or I might invite one of the agents to do something like that. And we also operate on a GroupMe app, where everybody has the benefit of that brain trust. So we're trying to do things that, and, keep us cohesive. I think that's really an important part of it. I don't think I answered your question, but anyway,
No, you
that's
did.
what we do.
Let me ask you this: for somebody that's listening to this and they see Realty One, what really give me what makes a Realty One office, your office, different than all the competitors? This is your sales letter, your USP in Nashville.
Well, again, we empower the agents with everything that a real estate professional needs for success in today's world. We have cutting edge technology. We have, I can do a feature dump here, but
one sentence. What's the real essence?
One sentence. Wow.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Empowering the agent at a challenging time to be there. I don't know. I don't have to think about that for a minute.
I know I put you on the spot. I'm just curious. I mean, I would really like to know, like, the Realty One franchise, what makes a Realty One office, different from all the other offices. If I were to really probably give you one, if it really was not a lot, it would be the you're really going to enjoy the people you meet with for your coaching sessions here more than anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of it's because they meet with you, don't they?
Yeah, I bring them to my office to sit down here with me and talk on a personal level.
Yeah, I think you could probably argue you're the most involved broker. Because you're very involved.
Well, yeah, I am. I truly am. I mean, this is our family. My wife and I, we have a couple of rescue dogs, but other than that, our kids live in Florida, so we're really focused on this is our baby. This is, and I have a real passion to make this a legacy. I want people. I'm 6'6". I want people remembering the tall, gray-haired guy that made a difference in their life when they look back at their real estate career. That's a driving reality.
Well, Monte, this was very helpful. You went from 30 to 40 agents, and now you're currently at 170. You just opened up a second office.
173, actually.
173. Good. Okay, I'll give it the 3, man. You know that number exactly. You want to have 200 agents by the end of the year? Well, you'll get there. Let's see if we get a holiday push.
That might be tough, but
Yeah. Do you have an ISA calling agents, setting up for appointments?
I've tried that. Again, I tried it on a local basis. I tried it from an out of the country basis.
The ones that responded to, like, your marketing, the inbound leads, not cold. I'm not saying cold calling. I'm saying, like, they want to talk to you, so you have some help.
Oh, no. I take care of all that.
You take them all yourself? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Monte, what do you want to say to somebody who's thinking about enrolling in this old recruiting class?
Yeah, all I can say is,
what advice do you have to them?
Yeah, whether they're looking for building a team, you know, half a dozen agents or whatever, or they're building a company like I am, or building a dynasty, I should say, like I am. That's the goal. Is that I really don't think, and Frank, I have been guilty of trying about everything that comes, you know, I've looked at. Okay. I've tried about everything that I can imagine in the way of recruiting out there, to hiring people to do it, to doing it myself, to all the things we talked about and a whole lot more. I don't think there's a better way of building authority than what you teach us to do. And I think that's what it is. You know, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And I think that by touching them on a regular basis with that, you know, the way that you teach us, and the process that you teach. I mean, honestly, go back to that new agent topic. I had no intention. I mean, I told John, I have no intention. I'm sorry, John, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to babysit. I don't want to take it. The odds are too great against them. I'm not going to do that. But then we kept, you know, when we did, I put my finger in and when I actually let my database know that I was looking for agents, I had some people I knew were really awesome people raise their hand. So we had this, and in the past, we didn't have a specific mentoring program. So that was part of the challenge. I'd see really great people come and really great people go. And I don't want to be part of that. You know, it's causing that churn because it's a lack of foundation. And so if we could help them build that foundation, but you opened my eyes up to start with as far as the newer agents. I know I'm talking all over the place here, but I've tried everything. And now I have a couple of things that I work with. And this, I think, is probably one of the most effective that anybody can do, because you teach us how to attract. I'll never forget you saying, because see, when I was teaching classes, I thought I had to come up with new material. And you made it real clear, look, it's easier to come up with a new audience than it is with new material. Is that a quote of yours?
That is a quote.
Okay. And that was empowering, because I thought I had to come up with something new all the time, you know. And it's like, no, don't worry about that. Just keep the flow of your information in front of it. You'll get a new audience as you regularly promote this, you know. So all I can say is, I've tried about everything I know of out there, and I am convinced that this is one of the best things that somebody can do if you follow the guidelines that you share. And I probably wasted a month or two just becoming maybe a stronger believer, because some of the stuff initially I wasn't buying into, but now that I've stepped back and looked at it closer and have done most of it, I'm a believer, brother.
Thanks, man. That's pretty cool.
Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Okay.
Well, keep up the good work to you too. Let me ask you this: what's one thing you need help with from me? What can I do for you? What do you need? Thanks for doing this interview.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. No, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. I watch your a lot of your emails that you're still sending out. You're sending out such quality material and a real value, you know. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
hop on.
amazed
So
at
on
that.
Monday, so if you're watching the replay of this, there'll be a replay available. But Chris Waters, who's a friend of mine in Austin,
I saw
is
that.
just he gets 150 grand a month of vendor money. I mean, come on. I'm like, what?
I saw that
Like,
email.
it's just stupid, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how he scaled up so quickly. I mean, really, his story of scaling was, it's really what you're looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm just going to go get the leads and get the agents. I'm never going to sell any houses. I mean, he just skipped the selling the houses part and went
That
straight
makes a lot
to,
of sense. That makes
yeah,
a
he's
lot
like,
of
I'm not
sense.
even going to do that. I'm just going to go get leads and get agents, but I don't have any money for the leads. I'm not selling any houses. So I'm going to go hit up all these business owners to give me money to get the leads and then give them to the agents, more or less.
Yeah.
Right. So it's on Monday. It's at 12 o'clock. It's on the Facebook page. Just come check it.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to try to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Monte, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for being a big part of this.